I'm back with my next video of Sunday Stories, and today, as you must have seen the title is Perception. What is perception? How you interpret things, how you see things according to your understanding. So there was a town and there was an old lady. She had two daughters. And this lady was known as the crying lady of that town. No one liked to talk to her. She used to stay absolutely alone. But yes, she used to keep crying. The reason was that these two daughters were both married off. One daughter was married to an umbrella man, the person who made umbrellas. And the other one was married to a man who used to make chips. So, whole year round, she used to keep crying. So once, a monk came and he was there in the town for a day or two, and he came to know about this crying lady. So he went to talk to her. He was very curious as to why she was known as the crying lady. It was so bad, someone being called as the crying lady of the town. So he went and sat down, and she started crying in front of the monk too. So he said, see, I came to know that you are known as the crying lady, and yes, indeed, you are crying. But what's the matter? Why do you keep crying? So she said, see, one daughter is married to an umbrella man, and when it rains, the other daughter is very unhappy because she and her husband has a business of chips. So during the rains, those chips, they get spoiled, they are not able to dry them in the sun, and they face a lot of problems. He said, all right. She said, then when the rain stops and it becomes sunny, the other daughter whose husband makes umbrellas, his business is, just zero. So she is very unhappy. And when it's raining, the other one is very unhappy. So I can't see my daughters unhappy, and I keep crying. That is why I'm so worried about them. So the monk, thought for a second and then said, come, I'll tell you a few examples, and then you say, whether you should cry or you should be happy about things. You should be grateful to God about things. She again started crying. She said, see, I am very worried about my daughters, and your stories and all are not going to help. They are in problem and I can't see my children in problem. So automatically I start crying. He said, see, this is all the way you think, the way you perceive things. And then he goes on to tell many stories. Let's start. He says that there was a group of blind men, all right, and all were blind and all were friends. And if you get to read detail about this, they have a mention in Sufi books also about this. They have a mention in Buddha's sects also. This story has been studied in detail and analyzed. All right. So now there were a group of blind friends, and they go and they are crossing a jungle, and they come across a beast. All right. Now actually it is an elephant. But since all of them are blind and they don't know what an elephant is and what an elephant looks like, they just did not know. They had not, seen it or ever, because they were blind and they had never known about it. So, they touch and then they feel that what it is. So each one has got a different viewpoint. The one who touches the trunk, the soond, all right, the trunk of the elephant, he sees that, he perceives, he imagines, he touches and he tries to make a picture in his mind, and he says, oh, this is a snake, because the trunk was moving like this. So he said, oh, this is a snake. The other one said, no, Why? Because he was touching the big fat body, the size of the elephant. He touched and he said, no, it is a wall. It's a wall, see? Oh God, this is a big wall, huge wall. How can you say it is a snake? The other one, the third one, he somehow, climbed up and he, tried to touch it, and then he said, oh, he felt the ears. He said, oh no, this is a fan. Just see. Now the elephant was moving its ears and he, touched and felt that it was like a fan, a hand fan. Said, no, this is a fan. It's moving and it's giving air. Now the fourth one, he was touching the legs of the elephant. He touched and he felt, oh no, this is a trunk of a tree. I'm sure there's a tree. This is a tree which you have climbed. This is the trunk of the tree. There was another fifth one. He said, what are you all saying? Wall, snake, trunk. It is a rope. A mere rope. And we are calling it a fan, a snake, a wall, a trunk. What are you saying? Now what was he touching? He was touching the elephant's tail. Everybody started arguing because they were interpreting according to their understanding to what they were touching. Alright, and there are many, endings about this story. That they, started fighting. They felt that this person is honest, my friend is a dishonest man, and he, wants to degrade me and all. The other one has something else to say. And, there's a lot of confusion in this. Anyways, we don't have to go into the end, but the monk said, I just want to say that you are not looking the overall thing, analyze things beautifully the way they are. Why are you only worrying about the person who is unhappy? So this lady, she keeps thinking and she's imagining the elephant and all the blind men, and she says yes. And there was a sixth blind man also who had touched the tusk, the teeth, the tusk of the elephant, and he had called it a spear. And they had started arguing, and he was pulling on to the spear to to fight, and because his friends were arguing. So if you interpret it wrongly, you can, the ending can be very fatal one, a very serious one. She got up and she was, in thoughts, this lady, this crying lady. She got up and she's in deep thoughts, and she went and she thought, I should give water to the monk. So she brought water for the monk, and the monk said, see, you are giving me this water. He, poured water in the glass, and the glass was half filled with water. So he said, how do you see this? She said, the glass is empty, half empty. He said, see, again you are taking it in the wrong way. Don't interpret it wrongly. You can interpret it in a positive manner. It is half filled. It's only the way we perceive things. Right? And then he goes on to tell another story. He says, all right, one more for you. And then I'm sure you will change the way you think. So this lady is again, pondering and looking at the glass, and she says, yes, it is half filled. Why am I crying for the half that is empty? I should be grateful with the half that I have. Be content. And if you really want to reach to a solution or to a conclusion, you need to perceive it wholly, not only with your limited understanding and interpretation. In these religious books, in Buddhism, in Sufism, everywhere it has been talked about human beings, limited way of perceiving things. How without finding out about the other things, the person keeps arguing on their own points, as to what they perceive. We need to change our perception, isn't it? So the next story that he says is that there are two friends, they lived together and they used to go to the jungle and work there the whole day and then come back together. So once when they came back, very sadly they saw that their house was on fire and one part of the house had, just got destroyed. They run and they call many friends and everybody, they pour water and all, and then they are able to save half part of the house. Two friends, when everybody goes, one of them starts crying loudly. He cries loudly, oh God, we don't have proper sources of, living. We are not able to earn so much. And now this house has got burnt, and he starts crying and crying, cursing God, God, why do you do this every time with me? Why? We both work so hard and now we don't have money. With such a lot of hard work, we do everything. And now this house has got burnt. We had such a lot of more expenditure and now we have to, spend on this. Well, the other one, and crying, then he sees what the other friend is doing and he sees that man is praying to God very peacefully with a nice smile on his face. So when he finishes his prayer, the other one comes and says, see, why are you praying to God and thanking him? Why? We are in such great problem and God always, gives problems to the people who are already in problem. He piles us with problems. So he said, no. Be happy with the other half that we have been able to save. Only one half got destroyed. We'll make it again. Be content that you still have shelter. You are not homeless. You still have half the house to stay in. Be grateful to God. So this man, he feels, yes, I was crying for the part that we had lost. I did not realize that we have half the part to stay, to live. We can still work, save money and then build the rest, the house that had got destroyed and maybe in a new manner. So this monk says, see, why do you keep crying? Be happy with the one who is happy. The girl, if her business is flourishing in the rainy season because her husband's umbrellas are being sold, you should celebrate. Be happy for her. They'll be able to earn and save for the bad weather, for the other weather. And the one who has this, business of chips, they will work in the season which is suitable for them and they'll earn a lot of money and they'll save for their living. And in fact, when it is raining, people run to buy these packets of chips and all. They love frying and, eating. So it's good for both of them. Why are you crying? Celebrate and be grateful to God for the happiness that He is giving. Be happy with what you have. Even if it is a little, be happy with the half-filled glass. You have half the glass. It's not empty. How did you like the stories? We need to analyze and then perceive things. You must have seen the thumbnail that I have put, a 9. When looked from the other side, look 6. When looked from my side, it looked like 9. It's just the way we perceive things. We can't argue over things. We can't, conclude. We can't blame God with the limited things that we are seeing. Expand your understanding. You'll live a very, very happy life. We'll meet next Sunday. Till then, goodbye. Take care.